can assure you one thing. My buddy Heater picked a cold morning to quit working. Coldest morning all season. The ratted thing just quit working. That thing's been a little bit temperamental all its life, I reckon. You know, in a previous video, I think it's called Two Classic Deer Rifles. One of them featured in that video is this one. This is a Savage 99 in 300 Savage. And in that video, I said that one of the goals was to take a deer with each one of those rifles. One with this Savage 99 and the other Winchester 94 30-30. It's a long story. You have to watch that video to get the whole thing. But anyway, I've had this gun for a while. I've not killed deer with it, so my goal was to take a deer. That'd probably be a doe with this one and the 94. Well, when doe season opened, the day that doe season opened, that was supposed to be the day that me and Jerry was going to take our paralyzed buddy, Gary, on the first hunt he'd been on 12 years. That was going to be the day that we'd worked all summer to get Gary out to where he could actually fire a gun, he could actually hunt. A lot of effort was put into it. Well, on this day, the opening day of doe season, any deer, either sex, this was going to be the day we're all going to have Gary out. Instead, Gary was in ICU in super serious condition. So Jerry and I went on the hunt anyway, because this is the hunt we were planning on taking Gary on. So we went on this hunt, and I thought, well, we're going to go on this hunt in sort of honor of Gary that we'd all worked so hard for. But I thought, well, I'm going to take this rifle. And I'm going to see if I can't get my deer. I'd promised myself I'm going to try to get a deer with this rifle. And so I took it. Now, we didn't do a whole, this video's coming up. I mean, we didn't do a whole lot of video because mostly we just sat and talked about Gary. That's mostly what we did. We just talked about Gary. But we saw several deer, several bucks, several does. And finally I actually take a deer, took a deer with this rifle. And we were going to, of course I had this little camera there with me, and I said, when I got ready to take his shot, I handed the camera to Jerry. I mean, he's done a little bit of video in some of our fishing videos, but he's not real familiar with the camera. And so I handed it to him, and we're looking right into the sun, and the glare on that flare in that camera, he just couldn't see worth a flip. And we had a miscommunication and who knows what all, but anyway, we were trying to get the shot on and he just couldn't do it. He couldn't get it on the deer or anything else. He just couldn't see, and he wasn't ready for me to shoot when I shot, and whatever, but he didn't get the deer on there, but he did show you the shots. At any rate, when I get ready to take this, when I took this shot here, like I said, it's looking for a doe, looking for meat, so I don't want to destroy any more meat than I have to, so I'm going to take a heart lung shot. And I know the deer's going to run off a ways, you know. And normally I like breaking that shoulder. I like to drop them right in their tracks. For one reason, I can't hardly see blood. I have red green deficiency, and I just can't hardly. I have a hard time blood trails on it, and so normally I drop them in their tracks. But Jerry can see blood, good, so everything else, and the situation was where that deer was. There was three of them. The way they were standing. If I shoot and they take off the direction they're headed, they're going to go right out in some wide open fields. And you'll be able to watch them, you know, and see where they're going. So anyway, when I shot, two of them took off like they're supposed to. And the one that I shot wheeled and kind of came toward us and crossed over in front of us, and it's going to drop right off into something you don't want to drop off into. So when it did that, I heard they took another shot when they come running by the blind, and I rolled it right there. But anyway, first shot actually killed the deer. You know, I mean, it was the lung shot, you know, like it's supposed to be, like I intended to, but I didn't want it to get off down in yonder. We had to go down there and try to get that. Oh no! So I took a running shot and rolled him. So that's what happened there. But and then you'll see it on the video coming up here. And then after we got that deer taken care of, we had a little bit of time that we could fool around first. So we get in Jerry's Jeep and we're riding around over this open country trying to spot something off in a location where we can put a stalk on it. We're trying to do a little spot and stalk, and we never spotted anything. We never saw the first deer. And all that country up there, all those farms, it's pretty much eat up in deer. We didn't see a deer. Not a single solitary deer. So we called it a day and come home. But I did get to take my first deer with this awesome Savage 99 300 Savage. Talk soon. Well, this is the very day that all of us have worked for all summer long to get our paralyzed buddy Gary out here to go deer hunting. As you know, he hadn't been able to hunt in years. He's paralyzed. We've worked hard. He's worked hard. This is the day that he's looked forward to, that we've looked forward to. The very day. And instead of him being out here to go hunting with us, we're taking him. He's in hospice. He's in hospice. He's not out. Going deer hunting day. But myself and Jerry, the guys that's worked the most to get him to Gary be able to go hunt. We're going to go on that hunt anyway. This is three old friends that's supposed to be deer hunting together today. Instead there are two of them. But we're going to go. We're going to hunt anyway. And respect or honor or in Gary's place, in Gary's name. That's what we're going to do. We're going deer hunting. This is Jerry's fine little shooting house here. That, of course, is Mr. Jerry himself. Getting situated here in Jerry's blind. We've already seen a buck in the doe. We've already seen a buck in the doe, right?
Yes, sir. We have.
Try to get situated. Look at this. Look at this. Looks like a conference home, don't it?
See what goes on in here today.
Now, Mr. Jerry's got him a nice Ruger #1 too. #1 light sporter, 270.
Yes, sir. We need some blood on it today.
That's about 50 years old. That rifle. You got it about the same time I got that 30-06.
You bought, I think we bought these together. That's when you bought the 4570. That same.
That last 4570.
Yep, I think so.
That burned up in the fire, you know. Anyway, of 3 old hunters and 3 old friends, 2 of us are here. One of us ain't in good shape. So Jerry and I are going to go ahead and hunt, because this is what we plan on doing for Gary anyway, so we're going to be here. Gary wanted, he's a cook anyway, and what he really looking for was a doe or 2, something good to cook. Ah, Lord. Life throws you some curves. He sees something he's interested in.
Yes, or
He's moving to the right now. See him now? You see him now?
he's got forked up there at the time. It's a doe. I think that's another doe. It seems to be another doe.
I can't tell in this little viewfinder, but it looks like a doe to me. Is that another doe? Where'd that darn buck go?
Up on top, the very top.
Against the skyline? Yep, that's him. Yeah, that's him. Look, there's another one.
He's in
Another
there.
one.
That's it. Road bed nice.
Is that a buck in the rope bed?
Sure is.
The viewfinder's so little I can't really tell. He's going right, yeah, I can see it now. He's going right where that other one was. And that other one up on top was a buck too. That's a doe, ain't it? Is that a doe?
But
I got one doe down out here in front of us, I think. We could. We're hoping the brakes hold. We're trying to do a little bit of spot and stalk, but mostly it's just ride and look so far. But it's fun. Well, there should be a daggum deer right down there and all that mess.
this is where we were sitting the other day. He come around, and Gomer seen him. I never had seen him until he got right here. And all I could see was his horns.
Oh, is this where he said the horns come up over the hill?
All I seen was the horns. Never could see the body on that deer, just his horns.
Well, it's a dandy place for him.
Only some deer up there.
There ought to be a deer over in that little arrowhead coming down over there, wouldn't you'd think?
I would have thought so. I thought we just seen something in these two thickets right here. Nobody been hunting. I don't know of anyway.
sure. This whole country up there, if you can spot them out there, way the ground lays and everything, you ought to be able to put a stalk on them. He still got his act together, don't he? He does that.
Amazing fella.
For some reason or other, I just can't remember to turn the camera on, gawking at the country and not paying any attention to anything. Man, they ought to be a deer.
Right here. Patch of sagebrush. This hillside's where we put that mounted deer. That's on the pond.
Well, first day of doe season, which is supposed to be Gary's day to go. We do have a deer. He wanted the doe, and we've got a doe. We enjoyed the hunt with Jerry, but we were both spent a lot of time talking about Gary. Kind of dread getting home and make the call, check on Gary. Anyway, I did get a doe. I had 2 rifles this year that I've never gotten a deer with, that I set out that I'm going to get a deer with. One was a Savage 99, 300 Savage, with a tang sight on it. And I've got that deer. Now I've got a Winchester 94 30-30 that I've got to get a deer with. So we'll take a day off tomorrow and be back at it next week.